Hello River Bear fans. Today's video will be a little bit shorter and I'm going to try to do this all in one take and then mix in some video that I took the other day. What I want to talk to you about today is that when you get a quick build kit such as this quick build kit, which is a Bearhawk B from Bearhawk Aircraft, you'll get the major pieces and components of the aircraft, but you'll have to buy a lot of the little pieces yourself. Now, a lot of the quick build companies will give you lists of parts that they recommend, and these lists are constantly evolving as people add and subtract items to that list, and they go through and discover new things and new techniques. In this case, I bought my kit from Wix Aircraft, which was recommended by the people at Bearhawk, and they're very helpful, and Wix was actually a good price. I actually did some comparison to Wix versus other companies, and I found that their prices were not only very reasonable, but actually very reasonable, and that's why I went with them. Doesn't matter who you buy these parts though, ultimately there's not going to be an instruction kit that kind of comes along with Bearhawk that goes through and tells you how to utilize all of these. One of those things you'll find right off the bat is that you're going to be getting bags of parts such as this, and you'll look at this and you'll say, okay, what are these, what are they for? And in this case, having a little aircraft knowledge is helpful. And in this case, this is cable Fairlead assemblies. And these cable Fairlead assemblies go throughout the fuselage to route wire cable back to control surfaces to control those close surfaces. So if we take this mechanism here, which is the control stick for the aircraft that I have installed, and I have some videos on that for you as well. These actually run through a series of pulleys and devices, and eventually what it happens on it is it goes through these assemblies, and the cable moves back and forth through these assemblies to control the surfaces. Now, obviously you wouldn't want aircraft cable rubbing metal on metal because that would fray the wire over time, could cause a flight safety issue. So we put these in different places, and I have some close-ups of it, but there's one here, and there's one located going aft on the aircraft all the way back to the tail section. There's also one up here for going aft, and there's another one here. So we use those just to route the cable different places. And in this case, on the Bearhawk, when you buy the kit, they'll give you 2 lengths of wire rope, and these will go through these Fairleads. Now, with the Fairleads themselves, you'll see that the Fairlead is really 2 halves, and I'll step closer here for you. So they're 2 halves, each made of a plastic-like material, and you get a small circular snap ring, which is basically a piece of springy wire that is supposed to go around the end of these, and there's a small groove. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a small groove there, and that clicks into that small groove, and that holds the Fairlead in place and keeps it from falling out, which is also a bad thing. You don't want your Fairlead falling out, especially once you have this coated with fabric and everything, and it's all painted. You don't want to be trying to figure that out. So, talking to different people about how to put these in online, most of what I read was what a pain these were. And the reason these are a pain, now I'll put these back in the bag as I'm talking, is that this snap ring is not a conventional snap ring. Most snap rings you would see like in the automotive industry or on a tool, like I have one on my bandsaw. The snap ring, it actually uses a set of snap ring pliers. In this case, this is a set of snap ring pliers from Harbor Freight. It's their brand. I think it's Pittsburgh. Again, not being paid for any of this. I didn't actually buy these from Harbor Freight, and in fact, another life hack, I got these at a kind of a garage sale, and so somebody had a lot of tools in their garage sale. They had these. They didn't want them anymore, or they weren't using them. These are kind of a not often used set of tools. When you need it though. And so these are inexpensive from Harbor Freight, but in this case, I picked it up for like $1 for the box. So, keep your eyes out for estate sales and things like that. You can get a lot of these parts that are limited use, that are convenient to have fairly cheaply. And so a lot of people online, they were using these, and what they were trying to do is they were trying to take these snap ring pliers, and they were trying to use them as expanders, and they were trying to stick them in. See if we can get a little closer here. They were trying to stick them in between these snap ring pliers and then they were trying to hold the ring open with a set of pliers like this, balancing it like that, using their fingers to press it open, slide this through the hole, click this around the little loop that I just showed you, this little piece, and this was not working for them. So a lot of complaints about this particular component on the aircraft and about how inconvenient it was. So a lot of people took the stand that the easiest way to solve this problem was actually to go off and buy regular snap rings, which are a little bit thinner metal than these, and use the ones that have the holes in them for snap ring pliers, and just go about it that way. That's really not necessary. So the much easier way to do this actually is actually to press one half of this through the hole, and I'll show you a close-up of the hole. So you push one half of this through, and once you have that through, you go ahead and you snap the snap ring around the groove like this, and then when you go in and you go through that same metal guide tube that you welded onto your aircraft, you push this through. When you're pushing this through, it's fairly easy. You expand this out, and this actually will slip over and click right into place. And I'll show you in a video how that's done, but it's so simple, there's no reason to go off and do anything else. Other people complain about, how hard they were to take off, if you need to take them off. Well, I guess that's a good thing because we don't want them coming off necessarily. So the only part of this whole toolbox that is actually of use with these kind of snap rings is actually these two little picks, and these little picks are just sharp pointed tools. You could probably use almost any pick, but you can use these to kind of expand that ring and get it out of the groove and get it off if you needed to remove it. I have no intention of removing them. I'm going to leave them where they are for right now. But really, there's nothing wrong with these. These work really well. You just need to know how to put them together. So I'm hoping this video helps other people like me who are discovering the ins and outs of aircraft manufacturing for the first time, how to do this. And so hope this helped you out. So let's watch the video on how easy this is to do, and like my videos, I hope, because maybe you have another use for these fairings. I don't know. I don't know where else they're used, but maybe you have other snap rings like this and that are two halves, and maybe this will help you out on other things. But this is how these go together, and if you're an aircraft builder like me, I hope this answers your question for you so that you can get on with your building quickly and you don't spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to put these things together. So thank you very much, and from River Bear and the Bear Hog Bee build that we're doing, I wish you a good day.